from the year 1994 in the Grand Rapids Press. Win at Detroit PBA Tourney leaves Goebel feeling numb. Brian Goebel's third victory of the year on the Professional Bowlers Association Tour left him feeling numb, but it was a good feeling. Goebel, who's still experiencing numbness on the right side of his face since contracting Bell's palsy nearly a month ago, was soothed by his performance Wednesday night in the $100,000 Greater Detroit Open at Taylor Lanes. He defeated Eric Forkel 257-189 in the championship match of the finals seen live on ESPN. "I'm as giddy as I've ever been. This one feels great," Goebel said, with a wide smile that was slightly crooked at the right corner of his mouth. "I'm about 95% cured of the virus now, and it certainly didn't affect me tonight." Goebel of Merriam, Kansas, was stricken with Bell's palsy, a non-infectious virus that attacks the nerves in one side of the face and causes temporary paralysis, while he was in Tokyo competing in a PBA event. He woke up on the morning of September 24 and had no feeling in the right side of his face. After seeking medical advice upon his return and being told the numbness would eventually subside, he stayed with the tour and hasn't taken a day off since the illness was diagnosed. "It's real tiring to go through the day without moving one side of your mouth. Instead of eating 3 times a day, I'd eat maybe once or twice and not as much as I normally would," Goebel said. "I lost about 5 pounds. Even blinking my right eye was a real struggle. I had to shut my left eye as hard as I could just to get it to blink," he said. "Everybody I'd been traveling with thought I'd just been to the dentist." Goebel, who was seated second, earned $14,000 with his third win this year, once each on the winter, summer, and fall tours. It was his 4th career PBA title and boosted him to season earnings of $144,472. Goebel is one of only 2 players now to have won at least 3 times on tour this year. Norm Duke, a favorite for PBA Player of the Year honors, has won 4 times. "I've never won 2 times in a year, let alone 3 times, said Goebel, who turned 33 years old last week. "I like the idea of being in the hunt for Player of the Year. It's a great confidence builder and a great feeling." Forkel of Chatsworth, California, had been the favorite all week. He qualified for the TV finals with an average of 231.10 and was 229 pins ahead of Goebel. Instead, for Forkel, the only left-hander among the 5 finalists, it was another disappointing result in what has become a sadly familiar routine. Forkel lost from the top-seeded position to Duke in this year's Tournament of Champions, a live televised match in which he put a ball into the left gutter. He'd also been on the mend earlier this year from a foot injury that sidelined him for 5 weeks. Forkel suffered a gash in his foot during the Northridge earthquake in January, which also devastated his townhome. The wound had to be closed with surgical staples, Forkel said, because there wasn't time to sew it up due to all the other quake victims. And his wedding was postponed last month because the church in which he and his fiancée were to be married was severely damaged by the quake. He now says he plans to move to Tucson, Arizona. Add to that a recent 0-6 slump in TV matches, despite making the finals in all 3 major championships in 1994, and it's been an incredibly difficult year for Forkel. He settled for second-place prize money at $7,500. "Brian bowled a great game and I didn't put any pressure on him," said Forkel, a 2-time winner on tour, whose last victory came in the 1992 PBA National Championship. "I'm not going to dwell on this like I did Akron over his Tournament of Champions defeat," he said. "I was sick about it after Akron, but at least I didn't throw the ball in the gutter today. I don't have any more excuses for this. I'm fresh out of them. This is not going to continue to happen. I'll win again. I know I'll win, but this was another missed opportunity." Goebel seized an opportunity to take command midway through the final game. With the game deadlocked through 4 frames, he strung together 7 consecutive strikes to close out the match while Forkel opened in the 6th frame and never recovered. "I got a break and I took advantage of it," Goebel said. "Good things seem to happen when I'm concentrating on nothing but my game." Good things were aplenty right from the start of Goebel's semifinal versus Chris Warren. Goebel, with his methodical six-step approach, pulled away from the hard-charging Warren for a 227 to 167 victory and a shot at Forkel. Warren, the fifth seed, dispatched fourth-seeded Jimmy Johnson 232 to 218 in the opening game, and then rolled past third-seeded Don Moser 247 to 178. Warren's wife, Maggie, remained seated throughout her husband's climb up the stepladder finals. Her due date to deliver the couple's first child was Wednesday. Warren from Dallas earned $5,000. Moser of San Jose, California won $4,000, while Johnson of Columbus, Ohio won $3,000.